Hello, I am Emily. I am a coach with MeetRx, and today I am interviewing another coach with MeetRx. I have Raymond. Hi, Raymond.
Hi, Emily. How are you doing?
Good. I hear that you have quite an interesting success story for Carnivore. You want to tell me what it was like before you started Carnivore?
So, my life before carnivore, and before I even found out I was pre-diabetic, I had rosacea, real bad right across the face. It was very red. I mean, constantly. I had such bad allergies at times that it's seasonal allergies. So in the springtime, I would literally have to have these big goggles, a cloth over my mouth just to go outside. And my eyes were all bloodshot red, my nose running constantly, sneezing, just all the allergy symptoms. It was terrible. I hated those seasonal allergies. The seasonal allergies affected me twice a year. It was at the spring and also the fall. Other things I've had is plantar fasciitis and heel spurs. And I would level the plantar fasciitis on a pain level of a 8 in the morning. In the mornings, it was like an 8. So right when I get out of bed, I would almost tumble over because the pain hurt so much. But it was combination with the heel spur. They hurt bad. I always hobbled to the bathroom. It was I can't imagine. I don't even remember how I felt, but I know that, I mean, it was terrible. Um, it's nice not to have that again. The other thing is my bowel. I have irritable bowel, either disease or syndrome. I have a little fear of the doctor, so I never really got it checked. But when I flared up, I would bleed for 2 weeks at a time, and this happened quarterly. Um, and when the flare-ups happened, this was the flare-up with just the bloody stools. But when the flare-ups happened with the pain was so intense that if I was not passed out from the pain, I would try to knock myself out. So these were incredible pain. I almost, if I could have described that I felt what death must feel like coming, that those were the times.
I can't imagine that.
It was, yeah, it's unimaginable pain. I also had a lot of mood swings. So I was like very temperamental at times, just very grumpy, especially first thing in the morning. I mean, don't talk to me the first 30 minutes. Um, there were so many issues I had. I had really bad acne, bad dandruff. I was obese. And when I say obese, I weighed 252 pounds. And
And how tall are you?
I'm I'm 5'11". Actually, I just measured myself recently. It looks like I lost an inch though. I am now 5'10". I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm shrinking too. So technically, I guess I'm 5'10" when I checked myself last. So yeah, but there were many other issues. I snored real bad. I snored so bad that my wife, she couldn't sleep with me anymore. So what happened is that when I would fall asleep, I would start snoring. Now I don't know if I'm snoring, but my wife would just hit me. I'm like, what? And then, that messes up my sleep. I can't sleep. And she
Yeah.
kept doing that over and over again. And I'm like, I'm not snoring. I think I'm not snoring. And she decided, well, I'm just going to move in with our daughter. And she stayed up there, until I stopped snoring. So that was a real negative. After I ate lunch at for work, I was forced to take a nap. And when I say forced, I'm not saying it's something that I could push through by exercising, which I tried. Just do jumping jacks or whatever. I mean, I just had this grip over me that it just made me fall asleep. I could not. So that means if I was driving anywhere after lunch, I would fall asleep in the middle of traffic. And I did that constantly.
That's
That
so
was
dangerous.
scary. Yeah, that was some of the scariest times. Just waking up in the middle of the I-75. This is massive traffic now. And they're beeping me to go because, it's bumper to bumper traffic on some things. So I just doze off. And I did that constantly. I could not keep myself awake. Of course, I had bad insomnia. I slept poorly. I can't, I mean, the sleep was just horrendous. Needless to say, I couldn't heal properly. If I had a cut, it would last forever. I would have bad infections. The list goes on. So there's many more that I probably don't remember. And it's kind of hard going back, after 2 years,
Yeah.
not having those symptoms anymore.
So what changes did you make in your eating? Like how did you approach carnivore? How did you eat on carnivore?
So the approach of eating on carnivore, what I did first was keto. I did keto for a year. It was 6 weeks at a time. So I did it. I started off because I found out I was pre-diabetic, and I was like, I got to do something about it. After researching things about diabetes, I found out that from diet doctor that keto can cure diabetes, and I was like, all right, it's worth a shot. 6 weeks. What do I have to lose? Did that for 6 weeks. Noticed for the first time in my late adult life that I actually lost weight. Before, I would try all kinds of things and I couldn't lose weight. It was unreal. I mean, when I say all kinds of things, I've tried, supplements, I've tried fasting, I've tried some crazy stuff. Nothing made me lose weight. And if it did, it was like a small amount of weight and it would come back 10 times bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, which was horrible. So, but this time I actually lost weight, not just weight on the scale, but I looked like I lost weight. And that was neat. Yeah. So I was like,
So
okay.
it was evident.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And I felt great. I was like, there's gotta be something there. The problem is after 6 weeks, life kind of gets back to you. And, then I did it another 6 weeks. And the problem with keto is I just had enough carb. And this was before I knew I was a carb addict and a sugar addict. I just had enough carb that the cravings kept on grabbing me back. And I would just give it up. And then trying it again made it even harder because I keep thinking, oh my God, I can't do this. It's too hard. I almost didn't want to go back because I felt like it's too hard because I'm like, I'm hooked again on the carbs and sugar. When I
felt like you weren't going to succeed.
Yeah, exactly. When I found out it was an addiction, though, that's a different story. Then I was like, oh, I have to treat it like an addiction. So, I went into Carnivore when Dr. Sean Baker announced the study trial.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he announced that study trial on September 15th. Actually, he had one August 15th, but I missed that. So I went on the September 15th one, and I said, I'll do it for 3 months because that's what he requested. No supplements. I followed exact orders. I filled out all the forms, and let me tell you, that was a pain. Measured myself daily like he wanted, answered those questionnaires daily for 3 months. After 3 months, not that I cared about that, but I had the first six-pack in my life.
Wow.
Like, wow.
That's a pretty big deal to go from obese to six-pack.
Yeah.
So, it's okay.
Okay. Sorry. The carnivore, what I did is I went straight into it as far as eating. I tried the grass-fed beef. I tried lots of bacon, lots of ground beef. I tried all grass-fed because I was like, okay, let's be ethical about this. Let's support farmers, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that was very troublesome. And it didn't feel like it was going to be sustainable for me. Not only that, extra costly. So, you tweak things a little bit. And then in the end, I found out for me, Costco meats were the best and easiest. So, but I kept my cheese in. That was the only thing I kept in. So I kept my cheese. My transition, the first time I tried it, so if we back up a little bit, my first transition that I went into Carnivore, I did have the keto carnivore flu.
Okay.
And that was horrible. Yeah.
And what did you feel during the flu?
Weakness. And when I say weak, I was walking like a baby. I could make only small little steps here and there. Yeah, it was bad. Constant nasal issues, constant headache. Couldn't think at all. It felt like somebody was sitting on my brain the whole time. And sleep was just non-existent. I would wake up coughing, hacking all the time, constantly. It was just like the flu. I don't know how bones ached, everything. So just like the flu, but
Got it.
it lasted a month. That's the problem.
Okay.
Needless to say, I felt so good that I was compelled that I was going to do this again. I was not going to quit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So now you eat, what do you eat now?
Now I am still meat. 90% of the time is ribeyes. That's
Got
my
it.
favorite. And I do add cheese, kind of like it helps me put in more food. That's the only reason I do it. Because with ribeye, it's kind of satisfying, and you get full pretty quick, and it feels
Yeah.
like I'm not getting enough calories for myself. So I like the cheese to aid me to eat a little bit more. And also 2% of the time, whenever I go out with family and stuff like that, I'll have chicken, fish, and lamb. But those are very small amount of the diet. And when I'm going on a cruise, which I'm about to go on a cruise, I'll be having eggs, and I'll be doing these other 2% meats, I guess.
Yeah, in which that makes sense. That makes sense. So what were some of the symptoms you talked about before? What were they like after you adapted or you changed to carnivore way of eating?
It was unbelievable. So after the 3 months carnivore, not only that I had that six pack showing up, my heel spurs pain went down drastically. Like I said, it was like a seven, or yeah, it was like around a 7 or 8, and it went down to like a 1 or 2. This is after 3 months now, so
Wow.
which was incredible. I mean, 3 months, I was like, I couldn't believe it. The plantar fasciitis was a 1. I
Gosh.
mean,
From an 8 to
yeah,
10 to a 1. From wanting to hurt yourself and not live anymore to a 1.
yeah. Now, oh wait. So the diverticulitis, the IBD,
Oh, okay.
flare-ups, that's a little different. That one was, so whenever I get flare-ups after the 3 months, which was not often at all. It was a 3. I noticed it. I felt it coming on. The time range was a lot smaller, and the pain was a lot. I mean, like, it didn't bother me at all. So
Yeah.
it was like a 3, maybe 4.
Wow.
So yeah, huge difference from a 10, 12 pain. I mean, God, that's a big difference. I was very happy with that. My rosacea was all gone in 3 months. So, and I thought I'd have to live with that all my life.
Hmm.
I What was the other big issue that I had?
The pre-diabetes was one thing that
That's
you
right.
mentioned.
Pre-diabetes took a little while as far as the blood work, and oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention blood pressure. So my blood pressure, I was always pre-hypertensive.
Really?
Yeah, right around 140 over 85, 90, somewhere in there. That I always been like that. After the 3 months of carnivore, now keto didn't seem to lower it, but after the carnivore, 3 months, I was at 115 over 75.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm constantly like that.
Not
So
on medication.
no medication, no.
Wow.
Everything. So remember, Dr. Baker was like, get off any supplements. I got off all supplements. I went on medication, which was, I believed in a lot of herbals. I used to spend $500 a month on herbals. Now that's for me and the whole family, but still, you can get the general gist that I'm very big into getting herbals and supplements and all that
Yes.
stuff. So, but from going to that to nothing and healing like I am was just, I mean, it didn't make sense to me. It's like, look, I'm doing nothing except for just eating meat, and I'm healing all of that. Meanwhile,
That's
I thought all these
amazing.
magic pills were the answer.
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah. It's
So,
like you were feeding your body the basic blocks that it needed, and your body healed itself.
yeah.
That's
Well, and I
amazing.
thought I had to get them from vitamins. I thought I had to get them from supplements. I had no idea that just eating the right food would do it, and it did.
What about your sleep?
So my deep sleep, I wear the Oura ring. And
Yes.
when I started carnivore, I think I was about 4 or 6 months in by the time I bought it. At that time, it was about 5 minutes deep sleep. REM sleep was around 20 minutes, if that. Now I'm getting anywhere. Well, now I'm getting anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour of each, which is not still not great, but the you can see the healing by I wake up great. I wake up some mornings euphoric, and when I
Wow.
say euphoric, it's like when I was younger. I used to wake up where everything was right. I would hear the birds, and I would feel like everything was connected, like just everything awesome. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I haven't felt that in the past about 30 years of my life. I mean, which is incredible to feel that again, like I was a kid again. You know what I mean? I mean, I
Yeah.
felt that when I was like 12, 10, 7. But to have that at my age, at 47, is just, I was like baffled. It
Well, and
doesn't happen often, but I love
yeah.
it. It happens. Yeah.
And it's a sign that you are getting, at least better sleep. So what about the snoring?
Snoring. So my wife is back sleeping with me. No
Yay.
problem. Yeah. Unfortunately, she wakes me up because she snores. How ironic, isn't it?
She's switching the roles on
Yeah,
you.
switch the roles on that one. So,
That's great. That's great.
oh yeah, it's kind of funny. So I'm still trying to. Yeah, I mean, she's trying the carnivore, but obviously we have a cruise, so hopefully, yeah, we can get back on it serious, and hopefully she'll get serious, and the snoring will stop too.
And tell me a little bit about your obesity, like your weight.
So my weight at my highest was 252 pounds, and I was a 44-inch waist. I used
Wow.
to wear a XX large, but XX large was getting tight on me. So I was ready for that next level before I
Triple
started
X.
this. And literally my buttons were popping out of my shirt. So like the bottom part of the shirt, it was like popping out. So I'd have to like tuck in and then button it. And
Oh
my
my
belt
goodness.
buckle was on its last rung. So it's kind of so afterwards, now I am a size, I wear a pants that's a 33, that it's a little loose on me. Um, and my shirt, I went from, as I was
Basically a
telling you,
3X.
XXL, yeah, 3XXL, really, that's comfortable, to a small. I can
Wow.
wear a small now. I have small t-shirts. I order all my stuff small now. Unfortunately, I have all these, bigger sizes. I'm not going to throw them away. I'm still going to wear them. So it looks awful on me. But the fact that I can wear a small again, that's just amazing.
That's amazing. And what about your moodiness? Because you had said that you were kind of cranky
Yeah.
before.
I'm very level-headed now. I have that carnivore zen. It's my wife, my kids. Nothing stresses me out anymore. Not like,
Wow.
before. I was just I'll wake up so cheery. I mean, a little too cheery for my wife's taste, but that's okay. I wake up very cheery, very happy all the time.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I know that there are people who, needed to hear your story, and I'm so glad that you took this time just to kind of sum it up for us.
Thank you.
So thanks, Raymond, and I will look forward to hearing more as you heal, as you continue to heal.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll see you around.